Okay, good.
Very beautiful.
And this is yet another mango, I think.
It looks like mango. It's grassy. and we want to make this park a haven for people and nature. So we have seen some bit of degradation at the park over the years, and now we want to focus on rehabilitating this park to bring in more, nature, make it cleaner, and to bring in more people into the park so that it can continue to offer the kind of ecological and economic opportunities that it's supposed to offer for the people of Mombasa. So what we intend to do, first of all, is to try and introduce more trees to the park, because as you maybe already know, Mombasa really gets hot sometimes, and people in this city need cooling places where they can come and rest and cool down from the heat of the city, and one of such places has to be the park. So we need to increase the shade in this particular park. So we're going to do more tree planting. We've just finished a tree inventory through Together for Climate and other partners, Kenya Forests, and we hope now to build on the findings of that inventory to introduce more indigenous species, because the findings reveal it's a good blend, but there's really need to introduce more indigenous trees into this park that could also provide the needed ecological benefits that we require to get from this particular park. We'll clean the park, and this has to be a community-led process. So we want to work with the community to clean this park a bit. We will try to recarpet this park, introduce more grass, and to also educate our people to protect the grass, to ensure that this place remains a green haven that can offer the services that we all need for this city. Make it really beautiful, make it more functional, address the litter challenge that is here, and to just make this place a place where families, people, business people, and everybody in this city can thrive peacefully with nature. We have learned our lessons from what happened recently with the trees here, and we are going to just also enhance perceptions of our people about trees, especially when there are certain things that are noticed about a tree and people feel that it could pose an hazard on people, and so just to protect people, some decisions have to be made.
What brings us is the city is getting hotter and hotter. People are suffering from heat-related problems in the hot season, and the best way to cool the city is to maintain tree cover. So maintain places like Uhuru Garden, but also increase tree cover. We can do street planting. There's a lot of good roundabouts in this city which have currently got plastic on them, AstroTurf, where we can plant trees. And yesterday we were holding a mobile thermometer. If you go on the Moy Avenue here, the tarmac is like 37 degrees, right? But if you come in here, into Uhuru Garden, it's like 23 degrees, 27 degrees. And that's why you see so many people in here. They're trying to cool down. But we're also interested in nature and in cities and nature. And everybody knows that there's a very important bat colony living in this this urban space, which is green here on Moy Avenue. We think that even just a couple of $100 a month would be enough to sort out the grass. We've done a botanical survey, because when the trees were cut, there were some trees that were cut 2 weeks ago, and actually people were not sure what was in here. So we have counted all the trees in the park, and we also know that there are 55 different species of tree in the park, including 16 indigenous trees. It's always nice to have indigenous trees, always important. But I also want to give a shout for the very old mangoes that you have here. They're not indigenous, they're naturalized in Kenya, but they're not indigenous, they're from India originally. And they're providing what we call ecosystem services. They're providing shade, they're providing a roost for this very important colony of bats. We need bats, as I believe you've already interviewed somebody about bats, but we need bats because they disperse tree seed all up and down the coast and into the interior. So if we want forests to remain with regenerating.
Now, these bats are very crucial. They are termed as keystone species because of the role they play in the ecosystem. In a single night, they are known to fly during foraging bouts, over 100 kilometers. And they feed on the wing. And because they are mammals, they carry heavier seeds. And they drop seeds as they're foraging around. Now, by dropping those seeds, including many economically important trees like mangoes, guavas, figs, by dropping those seeds, they are helping in revegetating areas that have been cleared of vegetation, maintaining natural habitats, maintaining ecological balance in areas that have been cleared of vegetation. Therefore, they are crucial in forest regeneration. Secondly, and very crucially important as well, is that these fruit bats, Aeron helvum, pollinate flowers of many tropical plants, including the so-called African tree of life, the baobab, Adansonia digitata. Now, that tree of life is called tree of life because it supports many other animals, many other wildlife, in terms of nests, in terms of food, in terms of roosting sites. 99% of the flowers of the baobab is pollinated by fruit bats like this. The association of bats with diseases, they may have diseases, for example, rabies. But rabies is associated more, 99% of cases of rabies are from carnivores, especially domestic pets, dogs and cats, hyenas, mongooses. These bats are also attacked by rabies. When they get rabies, unlike carnivores, dogs, they are not rabid. They are not aggressive. They die from rabies like us. Okay. Other diseases, because a virus was found, a related virus was found, COVID-19 was found. A related virus was found in horseshoe bats in China, which was not COVID. It was just related to COVID. It was assumed wrongly so that COVID, without scientific backing, indeed came from bats. It may have come from bats, yes. But the reason why there's a lot of cases where, like all animals, if you handle an animal like we do handle without PPE, without protection, they may have viruses that have evolved together. Those viruses, if they jump species from one species to another, in this case from bats to human beings, they mutate and become virulent. They become dangerous to us. So the reason why there's an increase of blaming of bats is that we've destroyed their natural habitats, increasing chances of them coming into contact with us, increasing chances of spillover events from animals to humans. So the treatment, the solution to minimizing spillover events of diseases from animals, including bats to humans, is conservation.